What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Edison Club podcast. I'm your host, Mike, joined tonight by my good friend and co-host, Justin Morgan.
Hello, hello.
And as a returning special guest, we have RBET Indianapolis champion, Sasha Egger. Sasha, thanks for sitting down here with us tonight.
Thanks. Always glad to be on the pod. It's always fun.
Yes, multiple time returning guests now, and this one's definitely going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk all about everything that happened at the RBET that weekend and pick your brain a little bit over some stuff. Before we get started with the podcast, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Sage's Secret. Make sure you head on down to the video description, follow the link, it's ruxin34.com, and purchase you some of your very own Sage's Secret card sleeves. Now, without further ado, RBET Indianapolis. So, Sasha, let's talk about it. What kind of preparation do you normally do before you go to a tournament this big? Because I'm pretty sure that this event capped. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it capped, but then there were I think there were 25 or 20 people who signed up who went to the Ultimate Time Wizard. So I think it was 235.
Okay.
Or 230, maybe 240. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I've mostly been playing Vayu since probably October of last year. I played Frogs for a year and a half for a while.
Yeah.
And then I really sort of got off of the deck because I found that especially the game one against the Gigaplan and Forgs is so bad that if you play against them, you just really cannot. You have to get extremely lucky to win game one. They have to draw double Death Frog game one for you to have a chance. I think it's maybe 85 or 80-20 game one. And I just think Vayu is, I know it's a boring deck or whatever, and it's very stupid, but it gives the most the really bad matchups for the deck are Gigaplan and Amaryllis, decks that aren't very common.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's certain decks that are hard. I think sometimes Lightstorm is kind of hard, and some versions of Frogs Frog Monarchs are hard. But it also just really matches up well with Black Wings, and being able to play Deck Devi is obviously stupid. I mean, it's a really dumb card, but it just gives so much value.
Yeah. So did you play what's been coined the Shin 41?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I changed one card on the side.
Okay.
And it was funny because Eric, I played him in round 6, and then after I saw his deck, he had just changed 2 cards on the side, so we were playing 1 card difference over 71 cards.
Jeez, that's crazy. So
the main reason that he played 41 is that he plays, because if you play Chaos Lurk without playing Charge, it feels bad.
Makes sense.
But then Hamster is still really good, so you play 2 Charge and 2 Hamster, so it's kind of just more light access, and then you kind of change those after game 1, because Sork does get sided out a lot because it's kind of bad sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed too. So that you side decked a third Greffer, right?
Yeah, that's really. I mean, it's really good.
Is that something that Eric was doing too, or is that something?
Yeah, he did that in Orlando, and he did it because against the combo decks, you want to just get if they semi brick.
Yeah.
The pressure of just here's 4,000 damage, or here's a Deck Devi, because Hamster is bad against those decks. So you really are just swapping Hamster for Engine, and it's also good against Lightsworn too, because Hamster is kind of bad against that also, because you just want to, you're kind of just trying to get them down under the JD range as soon as possible. And also Greffer, the problem is if you draw 2 Greffer at the same time, it's not that good. Basically, if you have 1 piece in the grave, Armageddon Knight is better, and it's not that good. Greffer sitting there against Black Wings can kind of be bad. So that's kind of why you don't main deck 3, but the Virus version's main deck 3.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just constantly trying to set up all the different Virus cards.
It also just increases your chances of just they go Swap Frog, Sentryborn, Bounce, Pass. You can go just the chance of going Greffer, pitch a piece. Even also sending Necro is so important, because if you send Necro, they can't. They have to go out of their way to make double Colossal, double Army Arm, which takes way more cards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's really good, actually. So, let's hear about the tournament. Do you have your matchups written down anywhere?
I got, yeah. So, Yeah, the tournament was ran really smoothly. Also, I just wanted to say, like, it was really well organized. The judges were great. Everything was super good.
Yeah, shouts to
Yeah.
E3 Yu-Gi-Oh for hosting the RBETs. He is also hosting several others throughout this year and next year. You can join his server. It's the really big Yu-Gi-Oh server, and
Yes, we need some
receive updates
East
for
Coast
everything.
We need some East Coast rivets.
Yes, yes, yes. East Coast RBETs,
Yeah.
please. Let's get something in North Carolina, please.
Yes.
Or Virginia. Virginia would be good too.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. Yeah. So round 1, I played against Hero Frog, and game 1 was like kind of weird because I remember I like dust sheeted him, and his hand was like Rhoda, Caius, Ryza, Toad, and like Deep Risen, and he like set the Deep Risen turn 1. So I just waited like 5 turns, basically not letting him get his Treeborn back online until I just drew heavy.
Yeah.
And then I just had him. But it was like hilarious because like he had a hand. I like deck Debbie Div, and his hand was like at one point it was like triple Caius, double Miracle, Ryza, but he couldn't use any. Like he just had to Miracle into back rows because he couldn't use the Treeborn.
Oh wow.
So, and then game 2, I think it was just more like I was definitely like grindy, but I drew like a lot of side cards. I remember I won because I put him so low with Dyna, he killed it, and then he couldn't oppression my Dark Arm because he was under 800.
Dang. Yeah,
Then,
that's nice.
So that was good because like that's kind of a bad match, like especially going second against Hero Frog. It's like because the flips are kind of bad.
Yeah.
I think I won the dice roll then, but yeah, round 2 I was actually at table 1 at round 2, which is kind of weird. I was playing against Sean. He was this guy from Chicago. He topped Orlando with Machina, and it was a really good match. Game 1 I won pretty quick. Game 2, I really thought I was gonna win, and he had like no cards, and he went like Avarice, and he drew another Avarice off Avarice.
Oh no.
And then like stabilized where he made like Gothams, and then like he somehow came back, and then yeah, it was crazy. I think he played like all 3 hours, and then game 3 it did go into time. So I wonder what would have happened if I didn't go into time, because basically we were just like making plays that we wouldn't normally like he dropped Gores early to save damage, and like I had to brain control on next turn to force damage, but I would never have done that if it wasn't close to time.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. And he was a great opponent to play against, so I wish that didn't go into time. So yeah, round 3 I played against Gigaplant, which I was pretty nervous about, and also there was a repair during round 3, so it was kind of annoying because like I probably would have not played against Gigaplant because I don't think there was like any other people playing Gigaplant besides this one guy who
So
ended
far,
up getting 18.
I've been fortunate. I haven't had to play against that deck in the tournament so far.
So
Yeah,
I feel like with Gigaplant, it's like goes back to what you said. If you set up a really good strong board before they get to that, that game state, then like you're pretty much guaranteed to win, right?
The problem is that with that for like Vayu is that Titanial is so good against Vayu.
Yeah.
And because what if they get a situation where they give like Titanial Gigaplant with supervised where they contribute the Gigaplant and then it comes back again, it's just so like I like win the dice roll. I set like Deep Resident Hamster. My hand's like pretty good. I got like Dark Armed. This is what my opponent opens with. Okay, they go Sark for Lone Fire, DDR discard Dandy special Lone Fire.
Oh, yep.
Lone Fire effect special Titanial, Super Solar tributing the other
God, he opened up the stones against you
for Lone Fire, special Gigaplant, Fertilizer.
Oh my god.
So they end their turn with Stardust, Titanial, Power Tool, Gigaplant with like 1 back row and like 2 cards in hand. And I actually had Dark Armed live, and I had Chaos Sork live and Return, but I can't break Stardust Titanial because if I make I like summon Stardust, but then if I use Dark Armed, he negates with Titanial and then Stardust my Stardust, so I can't do anything.
So
okay. Yeah,
I mean,
makes sense.
what was his back row? Because I'm thinking you just go to battle phase, right?
Like I like went through the back row with something, and then I couldn't break the field. So then game 2, I'm like kind of nervous. I'm feeling like, oh shit, this is like such a bad matchup. It's a pretty rare deck. Not that many people play it. And the guy the person I'm playing against, we actually played their team in War League in the playoffs and we beat them. So it's like it was kind of funny.
That is funny. Wow, what are the odds?
Yeah. So game 2, I like open Greffer. I open like Greffer and like Caius and like some spells. I like send Necro. And then he like summons Breaker, he attacks. I don't use the Necro, which is fine. I think I like run it over with the Armwing, and then literally UFO turtle comes down. So I have to Necro the UFO turtle trying to crash the Armageddonite because he's gonna summon Lone Fire.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
they play UFO Turtle?
Yeah, so this version was really smart because they were siding doubled UFO turtle and triple breaker against like Vayu and other decks, so you would have more like normal, so you sort of focus away from like super solar because it's kind of bricky and hidden armory.
Yeah.
Because like, so the Necro really saved me. And then in game 3, I Necroed UFO turtle again trying to crash, but I got pretty lucky because game 3 he has like 2 back row. They have like 2 back row and UFO turtle. He goes summon Lone Fire. I have all monsters in hand. I have Crow. I have like Dyna. He summons Gigaplant. So his field is Gigaplant, Turtle, 2 back row. I think they're under like 6,000 or something. I go like special Greffer, discard, send Plague, stack for Plague, Dark Armed priority, hit the Gigaplant, then hit the back rows, synchro for Goyo, summon Dyna, banish the Greffer, and attack for game. But the only reason I won because they drew Titanial, so they couldn't summon it.
Wow.
Because if they could summon Titanial, then Dark Arm doesn't out the field. And
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you need luck to win. It doesn't matter how good you are. Like that. This is like paving the way to just be your day. This is amazing. This is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I felt pretty good after that, just because like the times where I've beaten Gigaplant with Vayu, it's always like the stupidest thing. Like one time at locals, I just had to summon Card Trooper and I had to mill 3 cards and I hit like Plague Vayu and I would have lost if I didn't hit 2 pieces off of it.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's such a bad match. It's a worse. I think it's a worse matchup than Froggo TK because at least with Froggo TK you can like, because Deck Devi is completely useless against Gigaplant because they play no monsters. So it's like you can't. I sided like 11 cards in that matchup. I sided like so many cards in that game.
Wow, that's crazy that you won. That matchup has to be just egregious for you.
It can be a hard deck to fight against because, like you said, Deck Devi, they just recur everything back.
I can tell you what I sided in and took out. So basically, I took out like all the battle traps except Mirror Force. I took out a Caius. I took out a bunch of flips. I took out like Sork. I put in like triple Dust, double Oppression, Solemn, Vortex, third Dyna, two or the third Greffer, 2 Dyna. Basically trying to just, but then I got kind of nervous because the UFO turtles also are very good against Dyna because they just run it over even if it's in defense.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was like, I think that was pretty cool. Yeah. So then round 4, I played against Ryanide, who's playing a version of Lightsworn like you play, Void.
Yep. I think that I have influenced him a little bit on some card choices.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty crazy match. So game 1, like we both bricked so bad. Like he opened double Wolf, Plague, Necro,
what
and
are
I
the
opened
odds?
triple Value Plague.
Oh God.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is, I set a Raikou. I like won the dice roll. I set a Raikou. I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that because I know he made next 2 Arcus. So if he just has Arcus, I'm just in trouble. But he did. But the problem for him is he had Beckoning, but because he had double Wolf, he didn't have enough names. And basically, I was just holding like brain control because I'm like, I'm gonna have to take this JD. Hopefully, draw like Sirocco or something where I can pop and tribute it because I can't do anything.
Yeah, one of those games.
Basically, I just was like, I'm just gonna summon these values and attack because I can't. I just have to do something, and I did have brain control with Plague, so I was able to make Goyo. And then eventually, I was able to deck, because one thing about deck Devi against Lightstorm, which is like it's usually not that good, especially against Pure. But because he had to use an early beckoning because his hand was so bad, I got decent value off of it where I hit like an Honest and like an Arcus, I think.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good.
Especially because like those versions only for like one Raikou.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was like a really weird game. Like I thought there was no chance of winning. And then game 2, he opens like Lumina Garoth set 1. He doesn't draw anything off Garoth. And my hand is like kind of bad, but I decided basically like if he has Honest, I'm gonna lose anyway. So I think I special Greffer and then summon Caius and just basically evangel. If I just put him on like, do you have Honest? Like if he does, I'm just gonna lose this game on the spot. And he doesn't have Honest, and he has like MST. I think he milled like Plague or something. That was the only value thing he milled. Basically, I'm like way low on cards for like this whole game, and he has eventually gets a situation where he has Chaos. Here he has Stardust, Jane. He like summons JD. He like attacks over Caius or Arnwing, and attacks with the rest, and then mills. But he mills a wolf too, so he has a wolf. And I have Necro Engrave, but I don't use it because I have Chaos Sork. So my plan is like my only win condition is I'm gonna have to banish the JD with Chaos Sork. Then I'm gonna have to Necro the Stardust, and then I'm gonna have to hope he decks out because I just don't have enough cards that I could actually win in any other way.
Yeah.
So I do that. And he doesn't have a way to kill the Chaos Sork after I banish the JD. He has Jane and he's getting pretty low on cards. And basically, I just have like a Chaos Sork with like 2 set oppressions, and he draws JD, and I just oppression it. And he could have maybe done like a kind of a weird play where he like could have like raw beckoning for a Lila or something, but I had 2 oppressions, so it didn't matter. And he didn't have enough cards where you could Celestia and then JD, so he did deck out, which was pretty lucky. I thought I was gonna lose that game.
Yeah.
Lightstorm is not a good matchup for Vayu. It's just too fast a lot of the time.
Yeah, I've had really good luck with that build versus Vayu so far.
Yeah. So then round 5, I actually just get me and my opponent get random deck checked, which is kind of annoying. So we get like a time extension. But it's a guy I played actually at the Ultimate Time Wizard in Orlando, and he plays kind of a cool Hero Frog deck that plays like 3 Alias, and he plays Sparks.
Oh wow, okay, different.
Which was fun because Yicheng kind of like joked about that.
Yeah.
And he was like, he actually was playing it. And I think game one like goes back and forth, but eventually, I don't remember that much about this match. I remember game 2 he bricked pretty bad. I like dusted his hand. And he handed like his hand was like Ocean double swap. I think that was another game where like he like had to mirror force my Armageddon Knight because he couldn't kill it, and I just was attacking without setting anything. And then he was having his pre-warn was locked, so I was just like, all right, well, it's just you can't do that. If you do that, you're just begging to be punished, because if you're reading that, it's like, because even if it's like Raigeki break, you still have to go minus to get your Treeborn back live.
Yeah.
But the reason that people do that is because if you want to hit the deck Devi, like in the end phase, but then if it's just not, they don't have it, you're just so bad.
Yeah, you just like fossil damage yourself essentially.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know. I have like felt like a pretty good side strategy for Hero Frog, because I feel like, I mean, I've also played that deck for a while, so I just know it. The problem is like sometimes if they just draw a lot of monarchs, you just can't win. Like it's just,
it's the same way with Lightsworn. If they hit the monarch train, it becomes really difficult to win them. They just monarch you every turn.
Because like people are playing more of like they're playing more monarchs, where they're playing 2 or 3 Ryza now, and Ryza is like insane against Vayu.
Yeah,
they can hit the synchros back to the extra deck, and just so that was not too bad in my opinion. I think I won that I think that was maybe like 20 minutes, but then with the delay it was a little. So then round 6, I'm 5-0. I play Eric round 6. And game 1 I get completely destroyed. Like it is just not possible to win. He deck devies his Chaos Arc when I activate brain control. and then he
got
has,
the
like,
extra
Dark Arm.
value off of it.
Yeah, he has like Dark Arm and return. I drew like my opening hand was like double Caius, Burial, return, and then game 2 it kind of goes back and forth for a while. I like draw Dark Arm and I hold it until I can drop it at a better situation. And then game 3 he bricked really bad. I mean he opened triple value double Sirocco, and he still almost like came back, but you can't really win in the mirror if you open that. I just don't think that there was much
Yeah.
he could have done.
Yeah, it would take
And
you
I
also opening up really slow for him to be able to win like that.
Yeah, like I opened like Greffer, like I had like Greffer into like I think I did also I had Dark Arm that game too, and then what happened is basically like he had like one back row, and he has like I have Necro and Grave also, so he has like Sirocco Armed Wing. He can't run over Dark Armed because of the Necro with the pump. And then I like draw Caius, which I discard with Greffer, hit the back row, and then attack. And it's just game.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And at this point, you have to just be feeling insane. Like now you're 6-0.
Yeah,
you just beat Eric.
Also, it's like so tiring though, because like I've just been trying to like drink a bunch of water. I like brought a bunch of snacks, but I'm like running out of snacks and stuff.
Do you feel like, because I feel this way, the longer that you're able to just not lose, it feels like the tournament is just much easier. Like if you're like win like 2 or 3 rounds and you lose a round, I feel like that's when it gets harder. At least for me. Like usually you stay undefeated, you play against better people.
I also just get fatigued. Like I just get fatigued, and I just played like I played 12 rounds.
Yeah.
A couple weekends ago, and it was just like it's just tough. Like I definitely felt in the next match after, I felt like I had some moments where I was just like, I don't know. So I'm playing against round 7 against Tim Pons, who is playing Ultimate Offering Frogs.
Yeah.
And he was cooking all day. He had a game against Hybrid Blackwings where by chain blocking, swap, and breaker with Ultimate Offering, he broke Torrential, Mirror Force, Solemn, and Bottomless with 1 breaker, 1 swap by making a chain link 2. And he did that all in 1 turn.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't. When you told me that someone was playing that, I was like, "Is that like a meme? Like, is that a real deck?"
No, it actually just kills you though.
Yeah,
like, with Sphere of Chaos.
Yeah, see, I didn't. My head didn't even go to Sphere of Chaos. So once you said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, now I understand."
Yeah, if you search Junk Synchron and then you get swapped back with Junk Synchron, you bounce the junk, and you can also bounce the sphere and then resummon it, and then you just basically end like in an open board. You can get like a 5300 Junk Warrior, and then another Junk Warrior with Armory Arm.
That's crazy.
I'm curious how that interaction works with like chain blocking, because I would like to see how that interaction works.
So what you do it is because you can chain offering to itself, so you can pay 500 and then chain offering again. So then they can't respond with any summon traps or solemn on the summon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to think of the breaker, like how breaker interacted with that situation.
Yeah, and then because you can also go like swap prio chain offering, or you can bounce something and then pay 500 or something like that.
Yeah, that's insane. That Ultimate Offering can do things like that.
Yeah, I mean, he was also like I played against him online before that, so I actually felt like I knew the deck somewhat. I knew, but I also got like super lucky. Like game 1, I'm literally just about to lose. The only card I have is MST. He has like 4 or 5 cards in it. He has like a junk in hand. He has like a dupe, and I just like draw return, which I use to win. And then game 2, he like opens like a dupe block like pretty early. And the really stupid thing about Sphere of Chaos is it's also a dark. So you can summon Dark End with Junk Synchron.
Oh, that is stupid. I didn't even think about that.
He's just sitting on I couldn't kill this Dark End for like so many turns, and he just has 2 dupes and then Breaker and Dark End. I just cannot. I can't clear it. And then game 3, it's pretty close. I think I deck debied with a Catastor, and then he like stabilized where he like drew Kaiku, and then eventually I summoned Thought Ruler, and then I like deck debied him again. But then I also just like drew return, and I won because of return. Like I should have lost that match. I felt like I completely stole that match, and it wasn't
Return's just one of those cards. Like it lets you win games you shouldn't have.
So stupid. Like being able to go like Black Rose your own field and then summon multiple values, or like double pump, or like Brionic bounce your own guys, and then it's just the most insane card.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have topped even if I lost my last 2 rounds and I was 6-0, but I'm now being 7-0.
I remember you putting in the group chat you were 6-0, and I was like, what is happening? Like, Sasha's out for blood at this event.
Dude, I think that if you would have entered the hat tournament on Sunday, you probably could have won that too.
No,
That'd have been a great weekend.
I'm not that good at hat, and also I was not practicing 5-card draw hat with. I built my entire deck to beat Gyria. So,
and Konami said, no problem, we'll beat Gyria for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so then round 8, I play against this guy named Nima, he's pretty chill. He's playing Black Wings, and he's also like feeling really hyped because he's like 7-0 also, and we're just kind of just talking, and it's pretty like low key. Like I feel like we were both like I felt like I probably could have thought out some moves better in this match, but because I was 7-0, I was kind of just like, it doesn't matter as much. Game 1 was crazy. Like I really thought I was gonna win. I have a situation where basically like he drops Gores on the burn damage on Caius, so he puts me at like 800, and I have like Gale, and I have like Burial and Torrential set, and he's under deck Devi, so his hand I know is Shura and Sirocco. He has 1 back row. He draws heavy, plays it. I chain Burial to try to get the Necro back, but he has Solemn, so he kills me.
Oh no, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. And then game 2, I just don't draw any monsters for like a bunch of turns. Get beaten down by Kalut, and then I get like Icarus. But it was fine, obviously. I was still the number 2 seed after Swiss, so it was all good. And also didn't have to worry about the undefeated curse.
That's true. Yeah, you have to lose the last round if you're undefeated to appease the gods.
Yeah. So top 16 starting, there's like a bit of a break because they have to do deck checks again and stuff, and then what was I gonna say?
He lost his train of thought. He's too busy looking at his ulti Caiuses that he won.
No. I was gonna say, so there were like 9 values that made top 16.
Yeah.
But there were like 4 matchups of top 16 that was just the mirror. So there was like a bunch of values that were gonna be knocked out. But I mean, so I played the mirror in top 16. In game 1, I got pretty lucky. I both felt like I like kind of misplayed and got lucky at the same time. So basically, my opponent, he does a play where I'm at like 6,000, and he used like Burial with Plague, and he summons like Sirocco and Armor Master, which I'm like, as soon as I saw that he Burial, I'm like, oh, I'm dead. There's no way I'm alive here.
Yeah. But
he puts me at like 1,500. And I like claw back. He's at like a bunch of life because he gained like 2,500 of a Thought Ruler. So he was at like 10,000. So over a few turns, I like trying to chip away at his life, but I'm like kind of worried that he has brain control. And I have like Armageddon Knight. You know, I have like I have like a set. I have like a Hamster, a Silverwind, a Deep Prison, a Set Raikou, and like a Greffer or an Armageddon. I don't remember which. Basically, I decide like I think he has brain control. I have to attack with everything. But if he has Gores, I will lose because I'm at 1,300. So if I attack with Hamster and he has Gores on the 2,800, I can only Raikou one of them.
Yeah.
And then if I have Deep Prison, if he has any other monster that attacks over Raikou, he just kills me.
Yeah.
But I didn't think he would stack Gores with Plague, so I'm like, there's no way he has Gores. So it turns out he did have Gores, which he stacked. And he did have Greffer, which he stacked the second time using Plague off Burial.
Wow.
So what happens is I attack with everything and put him at like 500 or whatever. I have to Raikou the token, and I have to mill Necrogardener. And I do on the last card. And I had like 20 cards in deck.
Oh, the goat. Oh, yeah, that's so good.
It's so frustrating, but I'm like, I also was like, that was such a weird play. Why would you... I didn't understand why he did that play in the first place. And it's sort of like his weird... I don't know, not necessarily it was wrong, but like it just was... I was more worried about. I was basically like picking what you're losing. Are you losing to Gores or are you losing to Brain Control?
Yeah.
Because like Brain Control Caius, I'm just actually dead.
Yeah.
Or like
Game's over.
Brain Control, take my silver win, summon another monster. I just lose. So I felt, I don't know. And then game 2, he just drew like a bunch of monsters, and I had like, I remember I opened like Gores and Dark Armed, and I'm like, there's no way I'm losing this game. And I just had like Gref for Dark Armed, and I like bottomless this guy, and the game's over.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, that's so good, dude.
Yeah. Top 8, I played against this guy playing Frog Monarch, so it was kind of sad.
I was so curious about that too, because when I saw Frog Monarchs got top of that tournament, did he just play against a lot of value?
No, I think he was like 6'2" in splits. He was one of the XTs that made it.
Okay.
But his opponent in top 16, he gets a game loss because he only writes down one Ab-Zero on his deck list. So they tell him, you get a game loss, you can't side deck, and you can only play one Ab-Zero and you're playing Diva Hero.
Oh, God.
And you're not going to beat Frog Monarch unsided anyway. And he just lost really quickly. But I was like, oh, that sucks for that guy. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can't mess up your deck list like that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So, but I know I was talking to him a little bit earlier, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm playing triple Lad, triple Soul Exchange, like triple Ryza, triple Caius.
What the heck?
Yeah, he was playing Mobius too. He was also playing Cold Wave, he told me, because like against GBs, you can like Cold Wave and then Mobius them.
That's true. That's really good.
Crazy. Yeah, so game 1, I kind of opened kind of weird. I think I deck deviated or dust shooted him, and I saw his hand. It was like Ryza, Caius, Mobius or something. I'm like, oh shit, this is bad. But eventually, I just sort of get a situation where I can get him to a point where, because of the knowledge of deck devi, I can get to a point where once I get to like Greffer, I'm gonna win because I have heavy and I can clear his field, and that's what happened. So then I was like, all right, I got pretty lucky there. So the only thing I added to my side that I usually side deck double Crow, but I sided 1 Rug and 1 Crow for the tournament because I personally don't like Crow that much, and I think Rug is like pretty solid. I thought maybe there'd be more people playing Machina Hero or the Hero of Rug. So at least I have like 1 Rug, because I kind of have Solemn as the second Rug because I don't main deck Solemn.
Yeah.
So I side a bunch of cards. Basically, game 1 starts off, and I already feel like I've gotten really lucky because he goes like Treeborn, Soul Exchange, my Raikou, he summons Lad. But because he's Soul Exchange and not Econ, I had Kaya, so I can immediately get rid of it.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't have to lose a bunch of cards, which was really good.
Yeah, that's good.
And basically, it gets to a point where I think I'm gonna lose because I have Goyo and a set Pulling the Rug and a set Burial, but I don't have Necro Vanish, and he has like double or triple dupe on the field, and I lose if he draws Econ or Brain Control. And he's like passing a bunch, so I'm thinking he has Gores in hand. And then he goes, so he like summons Kaiku. So his field is dupe, Kaiku, and Treeborn, and he sets 1 and passes. And he water arts me, and I draw a Vortex.
Oh.
And he hits the Vortex out of my hand, and it's just hilarious because like we're just like kind of cracking up, and the judge is watching us, and the judge is like laughing about how crazy the field is. And it was really funny. So basically, I have deck devi set so that he doesn't attack with Kaiku because he doesn't want to get defrozen. And then I draw Soraka, so I tribute the set value for Soraka, play Burial, and then chain deck devi to make the deuce miss timing.
Oh,
I
nice.
see that his hand is Gore, Soul Exchange Vanities, so I take the Kaiku with Goya. He then Soul Exchanges the Go. Oh, and I summon the Arnwing in phase 2 because if he had another Kaiku, I didn't want it to stop it.
Yeah, makes sense.
So he Soul Exchanges the Goyo to summon Vanities. I draw the 1 Raikou I didn't side out, and I set it, and then he like kills the Kaiku or something. I flip, and then I draw Caius, which is just insane because he's at 2,400, so I can hit the Vanities, attack for 2,300, and then Caius for the damage for game. I felt like so lucky, but the water art on the Vortex was insane.
That is crazy, yeah.
His field was triple dupe.
Water art, this Vortex. Oh my god, dude, I'd be so mad. I mean, it's funny, but I still would have been like, what the hell?
Super chill though. It wasn't like it was like really a great opponent to play against because he was just like kind of just like cracking jokes, just like talking about how much he hates GBs, just like me. So.
So that brings you into what, top 4 now?
Yeah. So then I played against Gage, who I had played against him once before in the finals of an Edison pod. I was playing Hero Frog, and he had beaten me with Vayu. And the Vayu mirror is not good, but there's certain if you think about, you have to like. It is somewhat luck dependent and mill dependent, but there are just certain things that can give you an edge. And it was really funny because like game 1, he like plays a lure, and he banished Spirit Reaper, and I'm like, there's no way I'm losing. Like,
this is ancient technology, ancient Vayu technology.
There's no way.
The Pharaoh himself played this.
There's no way I'm losing if he's still playing Spirit Reaper. And honestly, I love Spirit Reaper's a great card. It's not great in the Blackwing and GB.
Yeah.
Meta.
Yeah. Too much of that going on.
No way I'm losing. And then I mean, game 1 I drew like really well. I like deck devied him for like 4, and then there's nothing he could have done. And then game 2, he like mind controlled my set monster on turn 1, which I don't think is right because I was going second, so I already sided out hamsters for Cyber Dragons.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not setting a Raikou turn 1 into a T set. I actually set bottomless also because I thought maybe if he had like Raikou Caius, I had Gores in my hand, so I was like, oh, I'll just summon Gores, and then if he won't be, that'll be like decent pressure. So I was okay losing the bottomless, but then I like crashed the Vayus, and then I like set another monster, and he summons Necro and attacks it, and I set my own Necro.
Oh,
so
wow.
And then he was just like he was so frustrated after that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I just like I just had like Caius, and then he told me after the game he had like Dark Armor and Sork in hand.
Wow.
But it felt like really, I mean, because the next turn he just like passes after he bottomlesses, and I have like Armwing, Armageddon Knight, and then I just draw, play Burial, special another Armwing, summon Sirocco, pump, and attack for game. It's just like super quick.
Yeah. Yeah, still playing Reaper is crazy. I haven't seen anyone play Reaper since like 2023.
Yeah, I don't think it's like...
It's not the worst card you can play.
I know some people like it, because it is kind of good if you play like if you're playing like the super virus heavy builds. It's just kind of... I don't know. It's okay against frogs, I guess. I mean,
it depends on... I guess it depends a lot on, too, like your bracket luck. Like if you play a lot of Blackwing and GB, it's just not going to be good. If you play against decks that it is good against, then you know you could leave the tournament and be like, oh my god, this was my best card.
Good in a situation if they like know you're playing Vayu and they think you set a Raikou, so they don't set anything, and then you can get value that way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sort of like why it was played in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then in the finals, I played against Blackwings, and my opponent, who I played in round 8, he lost in top 4 pretty quick. So there wasn't much of like a break. I remember my friend Daniel had like grabbed me some like snacks and stuff, and I was just like sitting outside the venue, just like chilling for a bit, thinking. And then
just thinking about how you're about to win this whole thing.
Yeah, it felt weird. I did draw really. I mean, I drew well in the finals. I opened Dust Shoot game 1, going second, and his hand was like double Icarus, double Kolute, double Sirocco. And I was like, oh, this is not gonna be too bad.
Yeah.
And basically, I was able to. I deck devied him something, and then. Oh yeah. There was a situation where like I could have taken his Sirocco with Goyo, but I decided not to because if he drew Shura, he could have attacked over the Sirocco and then summoned Gale and summoned Armmaster, which I couldn't kill.
Yeah.
So I decided to not take it, which I think was correct. But he was also under deck heavy, so I would see what he would draw. But I was just trying to just make the maximum amount of like 0 outs possible.
Yeah.
I think he like drew Dark Arm with like 5 darks, so that was game 1. Game 2, my opponent did draw like 2 whirlwinds in his first like 8 cards.
Oh, that's crazy.
But I did open heavy, so I hit like one of them, and then yeah, it was kind of a situation, but like the crazy feeling is like he has like like an arm wing, and I just deactivated him because I like chained to heavy, and he dash shoots me, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win. Like there's no possible way. My hand was like 2 Sirocco, Greffer, and Chaos Sark. He has to take the Chaos Sark or else he's dead because I go Sirocco, pump, summon Chaos Sark, banish, attack for game.
Yeah.
And I just go summon Sirocco, pump, attack, and he draws Crow and he's under deck heavy, and it's just I couldn't I felt like I don't know, it was just such a crazy feeling. I hadn't won a big tournament
Yeah. It's amazing.
since like 2007 or something, like
Yeah.
that long ago.
What's crazy about that too was game 2. There was a point in which he did a chain link to basically like nuke the field but get his own Stardust off the field, so it wouldn't be destroyed.
Yeah, it wasn't. So the thing is, when I thought he did have bottomless when I summoned Brionic, but I needed him to get the Stardust off the field, so at least I could have Raiko'd the Whirlwind.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't even that much value, because even if he didn't forget the Stardust, I still have Gores and Chaos Sark in hand, so I can still. He would have to go like summon Blizzard, Special Gale, not attack with the Stardust, and then I still have Sirocco in hand, so I can go like Sirocco, pump, attack over the Blizzard, and then main phase 2 banish the Stardust.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was out determined.
Yeah, I think you still win. I think that he had played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, and he was on stream and he was nervous. And something that I've noticed about you whenever I watch you on stream is you are so unbothered about being on stream. You're just like, this is just another match. I don't care that I'm on stream. Like when I get on stream, I've gotten a lot better about it. But I used to just completely just fall apart. And that's like one of your skills when you play. You don't care about being on stream.
Like, double think things through. Like if there's something like, oh, not even just like more than regular, just like I try to just take things a little bit slower in terms of just making sure,
because you don't want the people in the comments being like, oh, how did this guy get to the finals? He's terrible. Look what he's doing. It's football. Everyone's throwing.
It was really funny. So I summoned Brionic and I use priority. I discard Cyber Dragon and he goes bottom. Let's start a torrential. And then I just say pass, and then he draws a card and he just looks at the judge, and the judge just gives him like the funniest like head shake ever. I'm just like, don't even think about somebody who Stardust.
He didn't expect you to pass that quickly, I think was what it was.
Yes. But I mean, I had Gores. I was obviously I drew like no real traps that game. So I was just like, yeah. And it just was funny because I was looking at the judge also, and the judge was like,
no. I was trying not to scream. Like my wife had just put our son down, and I was watching it, and I was like, "He forgot his Stardust Dragon. The game's over."
Because it happened also earlier in round 4 or it was like round 3 against Ryanite. The guy forgot his Stardust, and he lost because of it. Game 3 playing Blackwings.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like,
so it happened twice.
So crazy. That is so crazy to forget Stardust. But I mean, I understand, the pressure, the being on stream, playing all day,
I don't know if that's even the, like, I'm trying to even, maybe, I'm not even sure if I would have done that play. I think maybe I would just bottomless negate the Stardust and keep the torrential.
Yeah.
Because if you, I don't know. I just don't feel like it was like the best use of, Torrential is like one of the best cards against Vayu because you can use it to punish, like, oh, if they just have a set monster and they go summon Armageddon Knight or something. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I just felt maybe that wasn't like the best use of Torrential.
Yeah, it's true. So that's Saturday, and what all did you win? You got a cloth playmat and 3 ulti Caius.
Yeah, I got 3 ulti Caius and then the gray brain control Caius mat.
Yeah, that mat is so cool.
I don't have it yet. It's being shipped to me. It'll probably come sometime next week.
Very cool. Yeah, if you're listening to this on YouTube, you'll be able to see. That's the thumbnail for it that I made. So it's you holding that playmat.
Yeah, it was cool. I felt like, also it was so great to have like other people from North Carolina like.
Yeah, you went to Indy and you brought back the gold to North Carolina. That was awesome.
Yeah.
North Carolina locals are stacked, by the way. Like every good player goes to the same local in North Carolina.
I literally think that North Carolina has the best Edison community.
I think it's up there with like Chicago is pretty undeniable, and I think if you count like the best players from like Philly and New York, I think those are like the best.
Mm-hmm. We're nothing to laugh at though. We got some heavy hitters at in our area.
Yeah, Yeah, but it just felt like I don't know. It felt like so good. I was so tired though. Like I was just like I hadn't played that much Yu-Gi-Oh, like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh in one day, and
Yeah,
it
that's
was
a
so.
very long day.
But yeah, the feeling is just like I don't know. It just felt so like rewarding. Like the time I put into the game, it felt like it really paid off. But
Yeah,
also,
it
I
feels like
just
you
felt really
finally got the return on it.
yeah. I felt like really confident all day with like my side decking and my overall just. I think I played pretty solidly. I don't. I obviously probably made a few mistakes, but I don't. I think I did about as well as I could in terms of each situation, like getting the most
Yeah, definitely.
out of certain situations like that.
So we have about 14 minutes left. You had mentioned before we had started recording this that you actually played in a hat pod and ended up losing to a pretty interesting deck. Do you want to talk about your
Oh, I won. I
hat?
won again.
Oh, you won. I thought you lost to it.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I
even
won the
better.
whole
Okay,
pot.
all right. Yeah, let's hear
Yeah.
about that.
Okay, so on Friday at Nats, I was like planning on entering the hat tournament on Sunday, so I was like entered a hat pod with some friends on Friday, and I'm just playing like mermails, but I'm playing more of like a combo heavy mermail list with like Hild and Oshia and Squall. So
Yeah.
you can do this thing with Hild where if you open um Tias and like any four, you can basically get like Shark, Trite, Engineer on turn one, which is really good.
Yeah.
And Squall is really good because you can basically special back like a Lind and then get either like an XYZ play with like sevens or fours, and then you get a Lind summon in the as well when it dies
Yeah.
in the end phase. So yeah, I just sitting down and then I like I'm like playing against my opponent and he's just like flipping these crazy burn cards, which I don't know what they are. Like some of the cards are old, like the nurse card where it's like reverses the gain into burn. And I'm like, oh my god, what
Yeah.
am I
Bad
playing?
reaction to some OG.
Yeah. No, but the monster with the effect of that
Oh
also.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
nurse, dark nurse, whatever.
Yeah. Reflectal, the fallen one, but now it's like Dark Lord Nurse or something. They changed the name of it.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, game one, I don't fully know like what I'm supposed to do, and he drew like I remember he drew like 6 cards off Hope for Escape because his life was like 12,000 different than mine or something.
Yeah.
Which was I was like, oh my, there's no way. I was like, am I getting Exodia? I was like, uh, yeah. And then game two, I remember I like summoned, I like opened breakthrough skill for the nurse thing, and then I like Glaciated him pretty early,
Yeah,
which I
that's
also did game
huge.
because basically like with Mermails you can just send Muglacia, you can add Muglacia with Dragoons like super early and then just summon it
Yeah.
pretty quickly. And then it's also game three he had like double rivalry and soul drain, but I just had a bunch of sea serpents. And I won. And then in the second round I played against this guy who's from Georgia who is playing Lysorn Ruler, which was cool to see.
Yeah.
Um Game one, I opened pretty well, I remember, and then game two, he milled like 2 Wyvern and like 2 Dragon Rulers off Needlebug Nest. I'm just like, oh, this game's over.
Yeah. Not something you want to see.
Yeah, and then game three, yeah, because he went like Card Trooper milled, he like milled Illumina, and then he like Soul Charged Illumina, and then milled like a bunch of other stuff. And then game three, I remember I summoned like Gaios or something, and I don't know. The card is so stupidly good. You can just I don't really remember what happened. And then in the finals, I played against my friend Daniel, who was also playing Mermail.
Ooh, yeah. Mermail mirror match.
I felt bad because he got really unlucky because game one, he's just going to win. Like I'm going to lose this game. There's nothing. But he draws his last controller, so he can't pop my set Squall
Oh
with
no.
and then he has to like torrential my Squall, and then I like have another monster for game. And then game two, he opened really bad, and I opened like Big Eye, Dweller, something else. I took his Lind, and I made like Engineer, and he just skipped. Like it just was not not fair.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then I ended up not entering the hat tournament on Sunday because I must have not gotten my deck list in on time on Saturday. But it turned out that was okay because that was a whole fiasco.
Yeah,
So, honestly,
changing the rules.
I was so tired. Also, I was okay with just hanging out at the venue. And
Yeah, you already got what you came for. You got the win. You got the gold. You already won that weekend anyway. Everything else was just icing on the cake at that point.
Yeah, there was a Chainburn guy playing. Do you know the Watt cards, Floyd?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, he was just playing Threatening Roar and just wadding them, and then something X-Con Night.
Yeah, those cards are good too. Those cards are annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. So before we get out of here, if you had to give some advice to anyone that's out here like grinding, trying to get to a tournament win of their own, what would you say to those people? What would you say? I don't know, just to anybody that's like having a hard time getting there.
I think a few things. One is you kind of just have to. You have to sort of accept like. Basically, you just have like when you're playing the game, you have to know how to navigate certain situations and being like. You have to know how to problem solve. But also you need to like, for example, like in Edison, it's important that you know what are the other decks trying to do. You have to. It's that's why it's a good thing to like play a few games with all the decks.
Yep.
Especially if you go to a big tournament because you can learn like, oh, this is what this they're weak to this. This is the point of the game where they might struggle. They need to get to this key card, where you have a really better understanding about how exactly, like what the individual choke points, but also like here's where I should be aggressive. Here is where I should. Yi Chang always says like, are you a respecter of damage? Like, do you put them, like, do you respect? Are you? You sometimes got to put them on better habit because they're not always gonna have your first torrential.
That's right.
And sometimes you might lose to it, but that's how you gotta sometimes. Usually, that's always another thing when I talk about like if you're afraid of like, oh, if my opponent has Gores, I'm gonna lose, but I have a combo or I have a play where it's game if they don't have it. You have to go for it. There's no like, oh, I'm just gonna, because if you wait, then they might draw the Gores or draw the Battle Fader or draw the Tragodia.
Exactly. Or they end up like their hand wasn't even that great and they top deck, now their hand is broken and you just end up losing.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're like one card away. I also just think as someone who's just played Yu-Gi-Oh since like decently, I stopped playing after Dragon Rollers, but I played from like 2005. Pretty at a decently high level. I think it's just like the experience of playing in tournament and also just the not getting tilted at certain.
Yes, that's a big one. That's a very big one.
Where there'll be something that'll. You can't let that rally you. Like that has been a problem with me. Like in the past, sometimes I get really frustrated after losing. Like to someone who I feel like, oh, I shouldn't have lost, or like, oh, they misplayed anyway and they still won.
Yeah.
And like it's like the same thing where like you can make the correct read and still lose. Like let's say you summon Caius and they've already played 2 bottomlesses and they have 1 torrential left, but they have 3 deep prisons and Mirror Force still in the deck.
Yeah.
If you target the Vakaro and their Vakaro is torrential and you lose, that doesn't mean that the read was wrong. I mean, that was it's the mathematically correct play.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've kind of changed how I play to kind of playing more like that, like putting you on better habit, torrential Mirror Force, stuff like
that's
that.
also a different thing from Lightsworn where that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like with Vayu, that's why it's such a great deck, is because you can OTK, but also the grind game is so good. Like,
yeah, I definitely agree.
It's also just I really like Vayu because when you play it, you just feel like you have, even in bad matchups, you can still win.
Yeah.
You get lucky. You have you're maximizing your chance of getting lucky by just, oh, I milled a piece. Oh, I milled something. You play so many one-ofs that it's hard to read what you have because you're playing like 18 or 19 one-ofs.
Yeah.
In a deck.
Yeah, that's very true.
I would still say that the zombie hero deck is my favorite Edison deck, but I I think Vayu is just so. I don't know. After playing Frogs for a while, Hero Frogs and a little bit of like the Frog ODK deck, something about Vayu. I like decks that have more defense and more traps and stuff. That's why I used to play like Threatening Roar in Hero Frogs and like play like 8 or 9 traps in Hero Frogs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Justin, do you have any questions you want to ask Sasha before we conclude for the night?
No, I'm just very impressed by his knowledge of his games that he played. Like, this man remembers everything.
Dude, I tell you, sometimes I'm like leaving a tournament. Somebody's like, "What'd you play against?" I'm like, well, round 1 I played, and then I just forget the next 7. Like if I don't write them down. Yeah, Sasha, like, I've said this very, very many times. Like, Sasha's just a very good storyteller.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I was just. It felt really good to finally like, because I hadn't really done well in any. I've been to like a decent amount of other RBETs and also Time Wizards.
Yeah,
I think the best I've done. I started 4-0 at a couple other ones, but I'd never really. I don't know. I felt like I was pretty. I was fortunate, but I wasn't like. I didn't have that any games where I like. Besides like the top 16, like milling Necro.
yeah.
Where it's not like, oh, I just draw a Burial and I'm like literally have no other outs. I think. I don't know, but Vayu, it is. I mean, Deck Devi in itself, extremely stupid card, and I honestly think after thinking about it, that almost any retro format could just be ruined by just going back and just playing viruses.
Yeah, honestly,
Like,
you're not wrong.
Imagine playing Synchro Cat, where you're just side decking Giant Orc and Deck Devi, and you're just Deck Deviing like. Because a Synchro Cat, it only plays like 3 or 4 monsters that don't get hit by Deck Devi.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's like, because. Deck Devi's at 1 in GOAT. And that was like after it came out.
Yeah.
They knew something. They knew it was a problem.
Yeah, they knew it was a problem, and they're like, no one's really playing it,
like,
so let's put it back to 3. Let's put it back to 3. No one will play it.
Yeah, because it was at 2 for a while also.
Yeah,
in like 2007. Because the old zombie deck used to play it though. That would play triple Pyramid Turtle, triple Zombie Master, because you could summon Illblood or Ryukoki off of Turtle and then Deck Devi with it.
Yeah.
And that was when Zombie Master was broken, because you could use it this one event where you didn't have any monsters in the graveyard. So if you just had Zombie Master, you could go like Zombie Master, discard Turtle from hand with 0 zombies in either graveyard, and special it and draw a card to say for turn.
Yeah. That's crazy. Old Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so wild, man.
Yeah, that was there was like a famous thing. There was like a pro player who like started that event with like a deck, heard about the ruling, and like switched to playing zombies and like topped the event.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. That really is crazy.
That was the Marshmallow event.
Oh yeah, the Marshmallow event.
Oh my god.
you finally got your good payback for that finally.
That really got me. I mean, that was just so sad. The thing is, what's funny is like after Lad came out, people did actually play Marshmallow, but nobody played it before because there was no reason to.
Yeah, you just happened to be
the time before Lad was out and Marshmallow had just come out.
You happen to be unlucky enough for it to happen to you.
That's still an incredibly funny story, though. Yeah, Bryce. A couple weeks ago, like I had like a bunch of people over, and Bryce like brought me like a framed like comic thing where it's like Marshmallow's first appearance in the manga.
That's amazing. I love Bryce so much. Okay, well, I guess that's about all that we have for this one. And Sasha, I want to thank you for sitting down here with us. I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point. We do plan on doing a Yellow Jackets pod at some point.
Oh yeah. I got Void. I got Chase watching it. He already watched the whole first season.
Oh, awesome. Does he like it so far?
Yeah, he said it does.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, good. It only gets better in my opinion.
I think the first season is the best one.
Yeah, it is good. It's a great show. So that's coming in the near future, and I'm sure that Sasha will end up running it back and winning another RBET, and we'll be right back here again.
I don't know, man.
I believe in you. I think you could. I
feel like my good luck has been used up, probably.
No, you got more in you, King.
Considering Jeff milled triple wolf on turn 1, game 3 against me.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that actually. And what's funny is I went home and looked at my Facebook memories like that night, and it was like milled 3 wolves off of charge today. It must be birthday look, and it was like 14 years ago.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, so game 2, he's like he decked out game 1. Game 2, he's about to deck out. I have a set Raikou, an Oppression, and a Bottomless. He goes Trunade, Chains Beckoning, Summon Celestia, mills to 0 cards in deck, double JD, which is game 3 Necro.
Jeez.
I was at like 38.
Wow. Love to see it. Love to see it.
I've never seen triple wolf. So 3 wolf on turn 1 is just gonna be like,
yeah, too good.
It's just, man.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. This is Mike and Justin from the Edison Club and RBET winner Sasha Egger signing out until the next one.
Hamster Raikou Caius, Hamster Raikou Caius. I go check the pairings, I'm like, don't know who this guy is. Hamster Raikou Caius, Hamster Raikou Caius. 2-0 every round, man, and I ain't even trying. It's just Hamster Raikou Caius, Hamster Raikou Caius, Hamster Raikou Caius.